Our introduction to network marketing was unexpected, or maybe I'll refer to it as an accident. We're probably like most people, not really out there looking for a business of that kind. My wife Maria, she had a flat tire in front of a guy's office, and he was kind enough to come out and help her change the tire. And really, almost before the transaction was complete, he was reaching into his bag and handing her a videotape. And I'll date myself a little bit. It was a VHS tape. And so he encouraged her to bring it home and for us to watch it, and she was happy to oblige. It seemed odd, but he had changed her tire, so she brought it home. And we're like most people. We intended to watch it that night, but it just didn't happen. And she had told me that morning, she said, "You got to get this guy's tape back. He says he needs it back just as soon as we see it." So I took it by his office and went in and basically said, "Hey, listen, it's not for us, but thank you for changing my wife's tire." And he kind of chuckled. He looked at me. He said, "Hey, no problem, but how in the heck did you get it back in the plastic sleeve?" And so I sheepishly admitted that I had not watched the video, and he gave me a little bit of a guilty look, and I felt guilty, so I decided to take it home and take a look at it that night. And as I began to watch it, I have to say it was a little disconnected in terms of experience. It was a company, a big, successful company. I mean, still today, a multi-billion-dollar operation, primarily selling skincare products. And they had an interesting technology, something I didn't understand about moisturizing the skin. And as I was watching it, I really wasn't relating to it, but I had told the guy I would watch it that night, so we were watching it. And as it began to complete, he began to talk about the business, and then I had a really strange feeling that what he wanted me to do was to become the Mary Kay guy and go door to door, which didn't appeal to me at all. But as I continued to watch it, and the rest of the explanation, it was two brothers giving this dialogue, they started to talk about leveraging time. And I have to say, I sat up in my seat. Like most people in the early parts of their career, working very hard, up early, working late. Too often the week's work shifted over into the weekend, and if I wasn't careful, Saturday it ran into Sunday. And so just the slight thought of being able to leverage time better changed the dynamics of just day-to-day living. It really appealed to me. And he began to talk about leveraging time in context of taking a little bit of time each day, investing in this project, getting someone else that may be interested in working with you, no matter how long that takes. And eventually you wind up with a team of people you're working with, everybody putting in a little bit of time, but collectively it's a lot of time. And so you're no longer the focus of how your income is generated. And I think we all think of things like that in terms of the concept of residual income. And it's interesting when you think of residual income versus linear income, which is really how we're primarily taught. You know, trade your time, get an education so you can charge more for your time, trade your time for money. You know, the challenge is there's only so many hours in a day, and most work people have, if they're not there working, they're not getting paid, and it can be a real challenge to generate wealth or even financial security that way, particularly when we think about today's world with the ups and downs of the job market and the challenges of the economy. When you look at residual, the chance to do something once, work really hard, and then draw on that for, decades to come. We think about that with money, right? We invest our money in income or percentage paying accounts, so that we're earning some kind of annual rate on the money that we have. But we seldom think about that with our time. It caused me to have a complete paradigm shift that changed things for myself and my family. No longer did we think about trying to fit our lives around work. We realized we could make work fit around our lives. And for me, it started a love affair with the network marketing industry that's now lasted for some 20 years. And frankly, I cherish the memories and the moments. It's been profitable, but it's something that I have developed an incredibly deep belief in.